Histology of the alimentary canal, it is divided into serosa layer, muscularis, submucosa and mucosa layer. Serosa layer absent in pharynx and esophagus, but these are present in the remaining parts. See, first one, in the transverse section of the alimentary canal, in the histology of the alimentary canal, the outermost layer of the body wall or the alimentary canal, not body wall, in the alimentary canal is serosa layer. Serosa layer, it is outermost layer of the alimentary canal is serosa layer. This serosa layer, it is made up of mesothelium. Here we mentioned about the mesothelium, but see, this is outer layer, so it is epithelium. Actually, this is made up of mesothelium, commonly called as epithelium. It is absent in pharynx and esophagus. Okay, na? This is the serosa layer. Now, the next layer of the alimentary canal, the second layer of the alimentary canal, this second layer of the alimentary canal is muscularis. So the muscularis, it is formed by a thick connective tissue. It is made up of or formed by this muscularis. It is formed by the smooth muscles. These smooth muscles are here. Those are two types actually. See, this is serosa layer, the outermost layer of the alimentary canal. Behind this, the next one is muscularis. This is the second layer. The second layer of the alimentary canal is muscularis. In this muscularis part, here two types muscles are present. See, these are the muscles are very closely to the serosa layer. This is known as outer layer is longitudinal muscles. So longitudinal muscles are present externally outside, and inside of this one is see, this is inside. Another muscles are present. Those are inner circular muscles. Are present. So the muscularis, it is second layer of the alimentary canal, which is made up of the smooth muscles. These smooth muscles, outer longitudinal muscles and inner circular muscles are present. Between the longitudinal muscles and circular muscles, between these two muscles, here some plexus are present. This is the plexus of Eyerbex. Plexus of the Eyerbex is present in between the outer longitudinal and inner circular muscles. This plexus of Eyerbeck, another name is myenteric plexus. Between the longitudinal and circular muscles, the space here, the plexus of Eyerbeck or myenteric plexus is present. Myenteric plexus are present in between this longitudinal and circular muscles. Whereas in stomach, between these two Oblique muscles also present. Oblique muscles also present between the longitudinal and circular muscles in stomach. In stomach. This is the muscularis of the alimentary canal. Due to the presence of the longitudinal and circular muscles, these two muscles contracts and relaxed, which is helps to lubrication of the food particles, because the contraction of the circular muscles and the contraction of the longitudinal muscles and the relaxation of these muscles, here the walls of the esophagus and the walls of the stomach and the walls of the small intestine and large intestine, that shows a wavy like movement. The wavy like movements are initiated by the contraction of the longitudinal and circular muscles. That helps to lubricates the food particles from one place to another place. These wavy like movements are known as peristaltic movements. The wavy like movements initiated by the circular and longitudinal muscles are known as peristaltic movements. Peristaltic movements, the wavy like movements, because of the longitudinal and circular muscles. So we will see the peristaltic movements not only in the esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, even also the fallopian tube also. Okay, no? This is for the muscularis. This is the muscularis. Now we are going to discuss about the third part of the alimentary canal. Third part of the alimentary canal. The third layer of the alimentary canal is submucosa layer. Submucosa layer. This is the third layer. Third layer, submucosa. Submucosa, that is the third layer. See, the submucosa, it is made up of, or it is formed by a thick connective tissue. It is formed by the thick connective tissue, that is submucosa layer. Here very important point, already we discussed, the small intestine submucosa layer produces Brunner glands. Brunner glands. These Brunner glands secretes mucus. Submucosa of the small intestine secretes Brunner glands for the production of the mucus. Production of the mucus. This is the submucosa layer, and the last one is the mucosa layer, and very important layer here. Here 2 to 3 points are there. See, the submucosa layer, the last part of the alimentary canal. Last part of the alimentary canal. Last layer or the last part of the alimentary canal is mucosa layer. See, in the mucosa layer we will observe several folds. Several folds are present in the mucosa layer. Mucosa layer. See, these folds are present in stomach and small intestine. Stomach and small intestine. See, one more point here. Between the serosa layer and the submucosa layer, here one more plexus is present. This plexus is Meissner's plexus. Meissner's plexus. Now coming to the mucosa layer. The mucosa layer have several folds or the finger-like projections. These folds are the finger-like projections which is helps to increases the surface area for the more absorption of the digested food materials. See here the folds of the submucosa layer. These are the folds. Here in the stomach, these folds are known as gastric rugae. Gastric rugae. Folds in the stomach, it is known as gastric rugae, increases the surface area. And the folds in the small intestine, it is called as villi. Villi. The small intestine, the walls of the small intestine that contains several folds, these folds are known as villi. Villi. See, these villi increases the surface area of the small intestine for more absorption. This is the small intestine part. Okay, na? See, the mucosa of the alimentary canal maintains some functions. So first one, it maintains the gastrointestinal tract. Gastrointestinal tract. And not only for this one, it is also involved for the more absorption of the materials. So it contains connective tissue. Connective tissue. The connective tissue of this part is known as lamina propria. Lamina propria. That is the connective tissue of this ones. This is regarding to the mucosa layer. Now one important point here, that is regarding to the villi. Villi. See, this is villi structure. See, the walls, small intestine, it contains several finger-like projections. These finger-like projections are known as villi. We will take only one villi for the understanding. Here, the walls of the villi, it is made up of the outer layer is epithelium. See, in this epithelium, the outer epithelium is it looks like the cells are column. So villi, outermost layer of the villi is made up of simple columnar epithelium. Columnar epithelium. Inside the villi, the part of the lymphatic system, is present in the villi. One more point, Nana. See, in the submucosa layer, I forgot one point. In the submucosa layer, blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, nerves are present in the submucosa layer, except. So, coming to the topic, inside the villi, the lymphatic vessels are present inside the villi. The lymphatic system of this part is known as lacteal. Lacteal is present here. The lacteal helps to conversion of the complex fat globules into simple fat globules. This is the villi. Here the blood vessels are present here inside the villi. Inside the villi. See here, inside this villi, that contains a small brush border appearance part is known as microvilli. Microvilli, it is also present on the surface of the villi, which gives a brush border appearance. Brush border appearance. So the brush border appearance, it is given by the microvilli. Microvilli. This is the process. After completion of the digestion in the small intestine, the digested materials absorbed into the villi through the epithelium, but the fats enters into the lacteal at first. In the lacteal, the fats are converted into fatty acids and glycerol. Later we will discuss about the process of fat digestion. After formation of this one is these materials enters into the blood, but carbohydrates, proteins, these are directly enters into the blood through the epithelium, columnar epithelium of the villi. This is about the histology of the alimentary canal.